I came from the valley, my son in the school, got alley. I found my way to the top. I've been doing things, I've been getting show for on but now it's a stand that I rap. I didn't say you, I didn't care, I didn't bunk on the drama, but I'm a of the match. My leg rest on my shoulder and bending my back. You know, I'm different, I'm fighting no bills, no patient.
Okay, so welcome to the Heroes of Change Leadership and Youth Development Podcast. This is a platform where we give youth the opportunity to speak out. Because in Africa, we notice that most youth, we have so many things to say. Like we have so many minds, we have so many creative ideas, but we don't have the platform. And it's very devastating to know that all of the bigger platforms are given to people who don't have much to give. So this platform is not looking at personality, we're not looking at your rich status or your financial status. This platform is open to everybody. And we believe that through this platform, we'll have the minds of young people being rebranded. Because Africa, a group of Africa, first thing with spring. We need to rebrand Africa in a way that the world will see us as people who are independent. So once again, you're welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
I'm James Ngafua, I'm a host. So you can follow us on Instagram at Hokla Development and also on YouTube, Hokla Development Podcast. So we are here with a very special guest. you know, it actually, I don't know if I should say it kind of shocked me or I feel a bit surprised when you say let's pray. Yeah, people don't do that often. So it's actually thoughtful of you because myself I didn't thought about that. So yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the prayer.
Welcome.
Yeah, and you being the first person, first international student hosted on our podcast is a great honor for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I don't want to do much of the talking. We'll just have into you to give us a brief introduction.
Okay. So my name is Angel Mukumbo. Yes, I am born and raised from Zambia. Yes, I'm an aspiring businesswoman. Um, I'm from a family of four back in my home country, proud African. And recently I've been very motivated by so many women. And now I'm so happy to be given a chance to speak on this platform about women empowerment because I feel it's something that's not talked about enough, as well as just good youth development. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. So as you heard, right, in Mukumbo. So we don't have. Actually, you have heard the first question because we were just about to ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself. So maybe you can just try to expound that a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just dive into it a little bit
Yeah,
more.
sure.
Okay, so what can I say? I can just talk about recently how I've seen a lot of things that are affecting youth. So really being given this platform is really great opportunity, as well as I can say a little bit from my background. I'm a born and raised Christian from a Christian home. Right now, I'm just pursuing my degree in economics and trade, international economics and trade, which is both our degree. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that a lot. So yeah, right. She's a student of the Wanjo University, and we are currently in Wanjo, China.
Yeah.
She's in preference precisely. So she's a student of the Wanjo University, and she's studying international trade and economics. Thank you so much for that insight, Miss Mukumbo. Can I call you that?
Angel Mukumbo. If you can say my last name,
Miss
sure.
Mukumbo.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to our next question, right? You being a human rights activist and like you said there, being a feminist, someone who stand with young women in the pursuit of excellence. So how has it been like for you? Like what really inspired you to take on such role? Like what has been your inspiration to say, oh, I want to stand and advocate for women. I want to be the one to speak on behalf of the young girls and to help elevate Africa in that way. So what really inspired that?
So that's a very good question.
Yeah.
I think what I can say inspired me to take up this role is some experiences that I've lived in my own life, and as well as just seeing things for really what they are. Because you know, when you're still in school, like high school, everything's sugar coated.
Yeah,
You don't really see things. You can't really see harassment as harassment. You can't really see abuse as abuse. You can't really see rights being violated as violated because we're like sheltered in that kid-friendly environment. Even the adults will make it seem not what it is.
Yeah, sure.
But like when I got out of high school and I'm actually seeing these things, I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't right. This isn't right. There's something wrong here. We can actually see these things for yourself because you're seeing cases of harassment day to day. People are just saying it like it's become a normal thing, and I was like, this really isn't right. So
Sure.
let me see what I can do about it. Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. By inspiration, I think I'm feeling inspired.
Oh my god.
Wow, that is great. That is actually great.
Yeah.
Because being in, like you said, being in high school and being a child, uh, you must feel that everything is just centered
It's just
around you.
filtered.
Yeah,
It's sweet.
everything is okay because
Kid friendly.
your parents don't want you to come out with the other intent, and so they show you different side of life, and that is actually bad. From my perspective, that is actually bad. I believe that we all have the opportunity, and we should have the right to see things as it is, so that we can face it when it is come.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's true.
that's that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So moving on, as a young lady, right? And an African,
Yes, and
a
an
young
African.
African. Like, what I'm actually praising on this African is because in Africa you don't see young people in the days. Speaking of a lady,
Yeah, that's true.
a young lady in
Uh-huh.
those sort of thing that you are doing, right? So how has it really been like with you? Like, how has it been like your experience as an African lady that is advocating for the young people of Africa or the young ladies of Africa? How has it been? Like, would you like to share with us your experience?
My experiences with it. Well, to be honest, I recently started this, so it's more like kind of new to me. But it's quite interesting, especially when you're advocating for like Africans and black people because we've got such a poor mindset. That's something I've noticed, especially with the African mindset.
Yeah.
Because as you said, like women, Africans, they don't do that. Like
Yeah, sure.
that's a male dominated area. Leadership, that's like a male dominated area. Like just get married, just go home, and all these things. And it sounds so funny, but it's still so real. Because people are like now inheriting it from their parents, their mothers, their aunties, and now they're going on to the kids. Like just even if they don't say it, that's how it's being played out in their homes, in their society. So speaking about these things is a bit tricky because you're trying to like shift that mentality or that mindset. And you're like, guys, this is 20, that was 2025. Like, this is 2025. How can we still think like this? The world is changing. Like, women are given spaces, but it's still a little shifty. But they are very good, inspiring people. I've met very like minded individuals, like minded females that are just so inspirational. And the world is changing. So it's good to see women work with the change.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I should give you a Wow, that was great. That was great.
Mm. Wait, sorry. Is it
That
changing the angles? Maybe we can change.
that was great. So moving on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I was kind of surprised when I hear you say, "Let's pray."
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
I've got that.
So that actually means that you are a very strong faith believer, like a strong Christian, right?
Mm,
Like, I'm a Christian,
mm.
but I don't think of that most often.
Oh,
So so I will I will love my guy to say that I think you surpassed me in that division. But
well, well.
nonetheless, the main question is you being a faith driven person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like meaning a Christian.
Yeah.
And we are in a society where we have so many religions. Like speaking of Africa,
Mm-hmm.
we have the Islamic, we have it's mostly the Islamic, right? The Islamic and Christian, and also we have traditional religion also, but it's mostly between Christian and
Islam,
Islam.
Hinduism.
So how has it been like for you? Like, how do you take on that? You being a Christian,
Mm-hmm.
and then you had to help other girls that are in the Muslim era. Like, how has it been like for you?
Speaking from back home or speaking for here in
You know,
Wenjo, or just
um,
at large?
just a lot,
At
yeah.
large. Well, it's quite tricky a little bit because when you're advocating for something, right? You're speaking from human, like a general human standing, like this is against human rights, this is wrong. but then you're coming from a Christian standing because those are the morals and
Ah,
values you have, right?
yeah.
When you're advocating for people of different religions, you don't, well, personally for me, I try my best to keep it respectful. You don't dive too much deep into it because you're not trying to preach to someone. You're trying to teach a message that like is generally in all human. It's humanity
Sure.
and what you're a human being. So I can't really like go full force and be like, no, do this. God says this. God says that. Wrong setup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So very respectful about it and respect their religion because I don't want to say something that like crosses too much. That's stepping on their religions too. So we have to be respectful about it. Even as they're communicating to me, the message is something that we can both digest, even in our respective religions.
Hmm.
Well, that's something I really lean towards. But I'm very cautious about it because I'm like, let me plan my words before I say what I'm about to say. Yeah.
Wow.
How would you
That-
say you handle the religion issue?
uh, this is my podcast.
Mm.
I'm the one giving the
Oh
question.
my god.
But anyway, for the benefit of the doubt, it's actually great that you try to separate your religious belief with what you do. Because being a human rights activist, you stand for so many people. Even God that we serve, He stands for even the Muslims. He
Mm.
stands for the Buddhists. So you being in that standpoint, God said He made us in His image. So you being in that standpoint, you still has God.
Mm.
So you have to make a decision that won't affect others and that won't affect you. So in this case, what you're saying, we should respect one another boundary when it comes to religious belief. So yeah, I think that's just it. And also to you, if you're trying to be an advocate, you shouldn't be a religious advocate. We respect your religion and we know that you are a religious person, but you shouldn't use your religion when you want to be an advocate. I don't know if
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true. That's very
you
true.
shouldn't use your religion because that might even be a reason for someone to say, I don't believe what you are doing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's better to do it the professional side. And when it comes to religion, maybe there might be a time that someone must say, oh, but this person work and I believe that they have a strong faith in this thing. Maybe they themselves might want to shift to that religion.
Yeah.
But it's not your choice to make for them. Yeah. So thank you so much. Respect boundary when it comes to religion, being an advocate.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
respect boundary. Thank you so much. Moving on. So we're speaking of your experience here. Like, what are those obstacles you face being a young African girl?
How you doing?
A young African girl in this field of advocacy. Like you said, leadership is mostly based amongst men, and we have seen that a lot, especially in Africa, a lot. The first female president, and if I'm not mistaken, she's the only female president. She comes from Liberia in Africa.
Really?
Yeah,
Isn't Tanzania?
Liberia. So maybe Tanzania too
Tanzania
is
has female leaders.
okay. So Liberia has the first female president in Africa, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm debating. I thought it was Tanzania.
Nah, it's Liberia.
Okay.
Liberia, yeah. So is that shows how difficult it is for women to take on such initiatives, right? So what are some obstacles that you face in being an advocate?
Mm, I think a obstacle that I have seen a lot and faced is the African mindset of thinking men are more powerful, women can't do this, women can't do that. I've seen it so many times, and there's so much fear. Women are so scared to take up spaces, so they're like, "That's a man's territory. I can't do that. What do you mean? Like me, I can't do that." And it's so sad because it's such a reality. People are literally sitting down and be like, why should I do that? Like that's for a man, that's for a boy, and that's really hard to shift. Because even in day to even just in class, right? You see so many girls afraid to participate because we're like, I can participate, but like no, okay, just let him participate. He's probably better in a class, right? And this
Yeah.
is like 2026, 2025. And you're like, you people have to be joking. What's how can we move from this? How can we grow from this? Because it's such a stuck mentality, like, oh, I can't do that. And there's so much fear.
Moving on, right? You being an international student, international student in China. Just as an international student, it's actually it's a very heavy burden because so many people come back and like the family they are hoping for something real. And also being an African, right, where you have the young people on the other side of the world, and they are hoping for you to follow your steps. So how are you coping with school and Africanism? Like you being an international student, and then you being an African. You are not in Africa, you are in China, you are in Asia, you are not in Africa, right? So you being a student in Asia from Africa, and you are advocating for the young girls of Africa. How is it going?
First, let me take you back to what you said, heavy burden. I don't feel it as a heavy burden to myself. The reason why I'm saying this, answering your question, is when you do something you're passionate about, it doesn't feel as heavy as work should feel.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's not work.
Yeah.
It comes from the heart. It's hard, I can say, but it's not work. So the burden isn't even as heavy as it should seem. But how I manage it, I think, advocating isn't just about big stages, protests. It's not about the billboards and the protesting and this and that. Advocating is just about spreading information, spreading an important message. So it starts with your day-to-day life, like the conversations that you have with people, communicating. What are you telling people about this issue? So it's not really something that's so big and hard to do, especially when I'm coping my studies, because I know that this is also my priority. So it comes back to prioritizing, because I can't do this and do this when I'm supposed to be doing that. Everything will just get confusing. But like prioritizing work, like I say, this time is dedicated to my school. I need to do this. I need to focus on this. I can't be doing this while doing this. But at the same time, maybe it's easier than you think. It's not just about until I get an organization, until I get that NGO. No, it starts with just your day-to-day life. What are you telling the people that are around you? What are you telling your classmates? I can actually be in class, doing my work, but just like telling someone a good message. Like, you know what, you're capable of doing this, or you're capable of doing that. That's me passing on a message. Not only to young black girls or African girls, but just people in that, because we're at an international school. So why limit myself to just black people? Yeah.
you actually your answer actually because I was actually thinking of very like different answer. We just break it down simple as it is. Like you don't need strength to do something that you have passion for. Passion is the best thing you can ever have need in terms of achieving your goal. Yeah, I really love that.
And it's very much easier than you think, because even when you're telling people like, no, advocacy, they're like, what's that? Like these are big words, what do you mean? So you have to break it down for the and realize that, you can do this too. It's easier than you think. It starts with what you tell your friends, what you tell your parents. So you just break it down and be like, oh wait, I can do this. Like this is much more easier than I thought. So as long as you have a passion for it, and you just start small steps that make a big difference.
My favorite part is you don't need a big billboard, you don't need to get a platform, or you don't need to get an organization before you can start out. That's my favorite part. Because even those people that have the platform, even those people that you see on the big billboard, the things they say on those people, on those platforms, they don't reflect to their daily life. And that's very important. Things you say, it should reflect to what you do in your daily life. Because you can be an advocate for feminism, or you can be an advocate for human rights, and then what you are doing, it doesn't represent a human right advocate. So it's actually important that you first start with yourself. You start to advocate not on the big platform as you say, right? Like start with those people that you can talk with. Like you guys are just doing a normal lecture, a normal girl stuff, a normal boy stuff, and then you try to bring those things up. Yeah, that is the right and most adequate form advocacy.
That's the best steps.
Yeah.
Those are the best steps to take. The major steps to take.
You don't have to wait for the people.
Especially girls talk. Oh, we talk. Just bring in something.
Yeah. You know, because I did speak from my experience. When you are with the guys, you don't hear anything else. It's just girls,
Money.
money, and it can be actually boring at times for some of us that don't really have.
Think bigger.
Yeah.
Like, more productive
It can
conversation.
be actually boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to make much of myself, right? But I'm someone that that's a part I already have been understood about myself. Because I find myself when I'm in a space where we are speaking on intellectual issues concerning development, concerning personal growth, I see myself speaking more up and I see myself being comfortable in that situation. But when I'm taking to a space where it's just about being happy and being pleasing yourself, pleasing one another, and just the fun time, right? I find it more hard for me. But it's not a good thing though. It's not because I can do it, but it's not a good thing. It's good social life, right? But I'm just the kind of person that I don't find myself more in social spaces unless it comes to intellectual topics, right?
I think I know what you mean. Like you feel more fulfilled when you're meaningful conversation.
Yeah,
just say it.
Why I don't want to say meaningful because you kind of sound biased. So we'll be there. It's proving what other people call
meaningful.
Yeah.
Guys, what can we say?
Yeah, sure. But that's my standpoint, right? But it's actually good that we start advocating in the small spaces we are. We don't need the bigger ones. We will need it because we need to send a message across. But your starting point is very crucial. It's very important. You don't need to wait for the big space before you can begin advocating. So thank you so much for that insight. And so you being in China, has it been, has you experienced any limitation to your application, like to what you're doing, being a feminist and advocate for your because I don't want to humiliate the African community because you said it yourself, right? In the international space, and it's not only African that need to be inspired by what you do. So, has there been any limitation to, like, since you left Africa and you came to China, has there been any limitation to what you do?
No.
Because of this?
Nah, nothing. As you said, it's actually better. Because now my mind is brought to a border space. Because when I'm in Africa, I'm thinking about Africa. When I'm in Africa, I'm thinking about Africa. When I'm in China, I'm seeing Africa, I'm seeing Asia, I'm seeing Australia, I'm seeing America, and I'm like, wow, this world is bigger than I thought, so it hasn't limited me in any way. It's so much broader, so many people, so many different types of people to talk to. People that you never thought to talk to, like how can my story and this girl's story from a country far, far away from mine actually have something in common. So it's really a great opportunity. It hasn't limited me in any way.
So, because what I actually have to because most people see living from your, should I say comfort zone, living from your comfort zone and coming out of the company, maybe with some limitation on what you want to do. People think that you don't broaden your work and mostly that maybe it's going to be like in the sense that I'm an African and these other people might not be interested in what I'm doing. So you bring that kind of limitation. But it depends on you how you maximize it. Like, everything that comes your way is an opportunity. It just depends on how you take it.
And another thing I've noticed about just like us as Africans, the inferiority idea or that mindset. Like, oh, I can't talk to her, she's these are people of different colors, so like she's probably better, or like she's probably gonna do a better job, she's probably wealthier and stuff like that. So that's just something I've realized, and I think it is more for me.
So speaking on that, right? I don't know how long you've been in China, but I'm sure that you
seeing other Africans, right? Like we all people in Africa, we came from self-reference to name our motherland pride, to empower ourselves. Some people came with other mindset, right? But like how is it going? Like, how do you see other Africans? Do you think that we all are on the same path in bringing proud to Africa? In the sense that some people maybe their mindset are still on the fact that I'm an African, so I can do everything in the wrong way.
I would answer that question by saying yes and no. Because we aren't all on the same mission, that's a fact. Not everyone has the same thing, like, oh, I want to make my country proud, you know, I want to do something, I want to build something. As well as people have different versions of that. So maybe your version is advocating, making channels, having podcasts, and actually spreading an important message. My version is having fun. It's funny, but it's true. Like, I only live once. I want to have fun. I want to do this. But that's my version of my best life. And this is your version of your best life impacting the country. So I would say yes and I would say no, because there are some people that are maybe on a moral. I would just say it on a moral standard. There are just some things that are, you can say this is morally good, this is morally wrong, away from my beliefs or whatever. But it's just like, you know, this you can't be doing this. This is representing your country. Maybe it's stealing or just shady things that are just morally wrong. There's some people that are going on like paths like that is just, it's representing them wrong, it's representing their country, their families wrong. But there are some people who are doing, you know, things that you would say this is like respectable. Yeah, so I would say yes and I would say no, because not everyone is doing the same thing. Neither is everyone, you know, or all on our own path doing our own thing.
We all have our self-mission. Yeah. So it depends on what you actually came from. Because if you know what you came from, then you would value that. From your experience, things that you have seen, the obstacles, the strength you have seen in this world, what are the things that young change that?
I think what African women or girls need is safe spaces, more safe spaces. Because there are so many women that have gone through so much in their lives, so many traumatic experiences, so many things that they think were like hindering their rights. So many, you know, there's still gender, it's still a thing, gender-based violence is still there. Gender gaps, you know, just different things related to gender, where you're growing up with the mentality that men do this, women can't do this, women can't do that. And people are still growing up with that. So it's more like traumatic spaces that aren't really talked about. Because even just small things like what may seem small, like verbal harassment from men. Let's say this woman is being, this boyfriend's always like bringing her down, insecurities and stuff like that. That you can't really know it's harassment, but like if you truly understand your rights and realize that, oh wait, this is hindering my rights, this is sexual, this is vulgar language, you know? And women are growing up with that, and they're not talked about enough. They're just kept in there. No, that's just how it is. This is how men are. That's just how we do. Just be strong, be a strong girl, be a strong woman. But it's not right. So I feel safe spaces will help us flourish and grow, because, for example, channels like this where people are able to talk about things that people are afraid to talk about, brave conversations that people are afraid of having. Safe spaces are used who make us real, not only as women, just as people at large, because if we're able to find spaces where we have the freedom to talk about challenges that we're really facing, change is gonna be made. So I believe we need more safe spaces as well as education, because we don't know certain things, we don't know that are being violated. Especially verbal harassment. I've seen so much verbal harassment without actually pinpointing it verbal harassment in workspaces. Men are saying all sorts of things. I'm using men as an example because I'm speaking for my women, but you know it works both ways. But I've seen so many situations where they would be verbally harassing their co-workers in a name of, no, that's just how it is, that's just how the boss is, that's just how men talk and stuff like that. You know, it's diminishing us and it's preventing us from actually taking up leadership spaces. So I feel we need more education to this is not right, this is not a job, this is not right, this is violating their rights, it's not right. So educating us and making clear-cut examples so we know exactly what the full picture is, because it's not just eating, it's not just slapping, it's up to the small things. So as long as our rights are being violated, we won't have spaces to actually take up leadership positions. So I feel more safe spaces and more education.
So
we need, like you said, safely. As young girls, you need to maximize your space, your rightfully said, and you need to know where to speak and when to speak. Even though he said that you should stand up, but you should also observe your space. Like, you should be aware of where you are speaking from, right? You should have a firm standpoint. And also, what I learned is that fear plays where you spoke from young women being afraid to show up. Yeah. So it's actually good that we try to take our mind from that trauma and those things that our parents said that young women, we are just meant to, you guys,
I was not getting something. I, my people.
Yeah, you guys are just meant to be in the house, get married, be in the house, take care of the kids, make gigs, and it shouldn't be like that. Everybody are equal, everyone are equal. So it's actually good that we have people speaking on this issue. Thank you so much for that statement. Thank you so much. And also, moving on, all right, to our next question. How do you see African young people in Africa in the next 10 years?
How do you see Africa in the next 10 years?
Like your vision for Africa in the next 10 years. Maybe you can specifically put on
The young women and girls?
yeah.
How I see Africa in the next 10 years? I see Africa different. Like, I see more women in leadership spaces. I see more women talking about issues that are important and concerning them. I see business women, not just men. I see business women. I see CEOs. I see women changing the world at large. And I see people speaking up because it starts today and it starts now. And if we're able to come together and make future leaders from the youth, I see Africa going in such a beautiful direction.
That's nice. I just thought of it. But what are those things you need to put in also see that happening?
What things you need to put in place?
Yeah, also see that.
I feel what we need to put in place is, I'd say, collaboration, leaving no one behind. You know what I mean? Because I'm from Zambia, from Liberia, but like, you meet me where my strengths, where my weaknesses are at, and I meet you where your weaknesses are at. So I feel like we're strengthening each other, like unity and just collaboration. Because if we're leaving people behind, you can't make the world on your own shoulders. So I feel getting as many people as you can, just spreading the message. Because if I get my friends, even let me just say my country, if I get the Zambians to be like, oh guys, my friends, like this is what we can do, this is what we can do. And you get your people from Liberia, we're gonna make something bigger. Because it's not just about one person. So I feel the more we have unity, especially here with opportunities like being at an international university, we've got so many people from so many parts of the world. We have people from Iran, we have people from America, we have people from there and there. It's not just Africa at large, but it's like the world. So the more we keep on getting people to work together, the more we start unifying each other, the more we support each other. Together we can achieve something big.
No, actually, we spoke of unity. I actually got my idea. I'm one person who is going to be I believe that unity has been the hope for. As you said, one person cannot do it alone. You can never be able to do it alone. So collaboration is very needed in a group of Africa. So, as a young person, whether you are from Nigeria, you are from Liberia, you are from Zambia, you are from Zimbabwe, you shouldn't take yourself to be more special than everybody have their own special strength. Everybody has their own superpower. It's just like in these movies that we have other superheroes. Everybody has their own play to part their own part to play within that movie because everybody has a unique superpower. So you should value that and try to collaborate with others if you want to see change. Yeah, thank you so much for that. Moving on, right? Being an international student. Yeah, an international student. Mention just as an international student, it's actually it's a very heavy burden because so many people come back home like the family they are hoping for something real. And also being an African, where you have the young people on the other side of the world, and they are hoping on you to follow your steps. So how are you coping with school in Africanism? Like you being an international student, and then you being an African. You are not in Africa, you are in China, you are in Asia, you are not in Africa, right? So you being a student in Asia from Africa, and you are advocating for the young girls of Africa. How is it different?
First, let me take you back to what you said, heavy burden. I don't feel it as a heavy burden to myself. The reason why I'm saying this, answering your question, is when you do something you're passionate about, it doesn't feel as heavy as work should feel.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's not work.
Yeah.
It comes from the heart. It's hard, I can say, but it's not work. So the burden isn't even as heavy as it should seem. But how I manage it, I think, advocating isn't just about big stages, protests, it's not about the billboards and the protesting and this and that. Advocating is just about spreading information, spreading an important message. So it starts with your day-to-day life, like the conversations that you have with people, communicating. What are you telling people about this issue? So it's not really something that's so big and hard to do, especially when I'm hoping my studies, because I know that this is also my priority. So it comes back to prioritizing, because I can't do this and do this when I'm supposed to be doing that. Everything will just get confusing. But like prioritizing everything and say this time is dedicated to my school. I need to do this. I need to focus on this. I can't be doing this while doing this. But at the same time, I mean, it's easier than you think. It's not just about how until I get an organization, until I get that NGO. No, it starts with just your day-to-day life. What are you telling the people that are around you? What are you telling your classmates? I can actually be in class, doing my work, but just like telling someone a good message. Like, you know what, you're capable of something this, or you're capable of doing that. That's me passing on a message. Not only to young black girls or African girls, but just people that because we're at an international school. So why limit myself to just black people? Yeah.
you actually your answer actually because I was actually thinking of very like different answer. We just break it down simple as it is. Like you don't need strength to do something that you have passion for. Passion is the best thing you can ever have need in terms of achieving your goal. Yeah, I really love that.
And it's very much easier than you think because even when you're telling people like, no, advocacy, they're like, what's that? Like these are big words. What do you mean? So you have to break it down for them and realize that you can do this too. It's easier than you think. It starts with what you feel with your friends, what you do with your friends. So you just break it down and be like, oh wait, I can do this. Like this is much more easier than I thought. So as long as you have a passion for it, you just start small steps and make a big difference.
My favorite part is you don't need a big billboard, you don't need to get a platform, or you don't need to get an organization before you can start out with this. That's very hard. Because even those people that have the platform, even those people that you see on the big billboard, the things they say on those people on those platforms, they don't reflect to their daily life. And that's very important. Things you say, it should reflect to what you're doing. Because you can be an advocate for feminism, or you can be an advocate for human rights, and then what you are doing, it doesn't represent a human right advocate. So it's actually important that you first start with yourself. You start to advocate not on the big platform as you say, right? Like start with those people that you can talk with. Like you guys are just doing a normal lecture, a normal girl stuff, a normal boy stuff, and then you try to bring those things up. Yeah, that is the right and most adequate form of application.
That's the best steps.
Yeah.
Those are the best steps to take. The easiest steps to take.
You don't have to worry about it.
Especially girls talk. Oh, we talk. Just bring in something.
Yeah. Because I did it speak from my experience. When you're with the guys, you don't hear anything else. It's just girls, women, money, and it can be actually boring at times for some of us that don't really have.
Think bigger.
Yeah.
Like, more productive
It can be
conversation.
actually boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to make it much of myself, right? But I'm someone that that's the part I very happy understand myself. I put myself when I'm in a space where we are speaking on the lecture issues concerning development, concerning personal growth. I see myself speaking more and I see myself being comfortable in that situation. But when I'm taking to a space where it's just about being happy and being pleasing yourself, pleasing one another, and just the fun time, right? I find it more hard for me. But it's not a good thing though. It's not because I can do it, but it's not a good thing. It's good social life, right? But I'm just the kind of person that I don't put myself more in social spaces unless it comes to or topics, right?
I think I know what you mean. Like you feel more fulfilled when you're meaningful conversation.
Um,
Yeah, just say it.
why I don't want to say meaningful because you kind of sound biased. So it's proving what other people call
Meaningful.
yeah.
Guys, what can we say?
Yeah, sure. But that's my standpoint, right? But it's actually good that we start advocating in the small spaces we are. We don't need the bigger ones. We will need it because we need to send a message across. But your starting point is very crucial. It's very important. You don't need to wait for the big space before you can begin advocating. So thank you so much for that insight. And, so you being in China, has it been has you experienced any limitation to your application, like to what you're doing in a feminist and advocate for you? Because I don't want to humiliate to African because you said it yourself, right? In the international space, and it's not only African that need to be inspired for what you do. So, has there been any limitation to like since you left Africa and you came to China? Has there been any limitation to what you do?
No,
Because
no
of this?
limitation. Nah, nothing. As you said, it's actually better because now my mind is brought to a border space. Because when I'm in Africa, I'm thinking about Africa. When I'm in Africa, I'm thinking about Africa. When I'm in China, I'm seeing Africa. I'm seeing Asia. I'm seeing Australia. I'm seeing America. And I'm like, wow, this world is bigger than I thought. So it hasn't limited me in any way. It's so much broader. So many people, so many different types of people to talk to. People that you never thought to talk to. Like, how can my story and this girl's story from a country far away from mine actually have something in common? So it's really a great opportunity. It hasn't limited me in any way.
So, because what I actually have to because most people see living from your she has a comfort zone, living from your comfort zone and coming out of the company, maybe some limitation on what you want to do. People think that you don't broaden your work and mostly that maybe it's gonna be like in the face that an African and these other people might not be interested in what I'm doing. So they bring that kind of limitation. But it depends on you how you maximize like, everything that comes your way is an opportunity. It depends on how you take it.
And another thing I've noticed about just like us as Africans, the inferiority idea or that mindset. Like, oh, I can't talk to her. These are people of different colors. So, like, she's probably better, or like, she's probably gonna do a better job. She's probably wealthier and stuff like that. So, that's just something I've realized, and I think we should move from it.
So, speaking on that, right? I don't know how long you've been in China, but I'm sure that you have adjusted to so many things. And seeing other Africans, right? Like we all came from Africa, we came from self-purpose to make our motherland proud, to empower ourselves. Some people came with other mindset, right? But like how is it been? Like, how do you see sort of like, do you think that we all are on the same path in bringing proud to Africa? In the sense that some people maybe their mindset are still on the fact that I'm an African, so I can do everything in the wrong way.
I would answer that question by saying yes and no. Because we aren't all on the same mission, that's a fact. Not everyone has the same thing, like, oh, I want to make my country proud, you know, I want to do something, I want to build something. As well as people have different versions of that. So maybe your version is advocating, making channels, having podcasts, and actually spreading an important message. My version is having fun. It's funny, but it's true. Like, I only live once. I want to have fun. I want to do this. But that's my version of my best life. And this is your version of your best life impacting this country. So I would say yes and I would say no because there are some people that are maybe on a moral. I would just say on a moral standard. There are just some things that are, you can say this is morally good, this is morally wrong, away from my beliefs or whatever, but it's just like, you know, this you can't be doing this. This is representing your country. Maybe it's stealing or just shady things that are just morally wrong. There's some people that are going on like paths like that. That is just, it's representing them wrong. It's representing their country, their family is wrong. But there are some people who are doing, you know, things that you would say this is like respectable. Yeah, so I would say yes and I would say no because not everyone is doing the same thing. Neither is everyone, you know, we're all on our own paths doing our own thing.
We all have our self vision. Yeah. So it depends on what you are looking for. Because if you know what you came for, then you will follow that. Yeah, I agree with that. So thank you so much. Is the end of the first segment, and we are going for a very short break. Once again, James Escafon, your home host, and in studio with me is Miss Angel Mukumbo, a very inspirational lady. She's a very private. I don't know how to say this, but I'm actually honored to have you, and we're going to be back shortly. Okay, so welcome back to the second segment of this podcast. Yeah. So once again, James Escafon, and this is the Heroes of Leadership and Development podcast. I will be your host, James Escafon, and in studio with me is Miss Angel Mukumbo hails from Zambia, and we are in the Republic of China, Orange City, Xinjiang province, Musa State. And yeah, so you can follow us on Instagram, Poplar Development, on YouTube, we have our YouTube channel, Poplar Development. Yeah, thank you so much. So we'll just dive straight into our segment. But before we move on, how are you feeling?
Feeling good. I'm excited for the second half. Let's see what we're gonna dive into.
So, our next question is based on your state channel, right? What system is channel? Because China is a well-developed country as we all see. Even it's recognized in the world that being one of the most developed countries, and we having the opportunity to stay here and see all the great countries. So, what are those things? What is one system, at least one system that we see in China that I think it contributes immensely to its growth, and think that Africa needs it in order to grow.
So the first word that has come to my mind is hardworking. The Chinese people are so hardworking. I would say that, not to bring Africa down, to say that we're not hardworking, but I've seen so much hardworking with people because you would like see how punctual these people are and how serious they take their jobs. Because even this, we have this bridge thing behind us that they've been building for some time. These people work so hard. You can see them in the morning by 5 till like somewhere 23, they're still going, the same group of people. Not to say that we should burn out ourselves, but I've seen so much hard work in these people, so much dedication to their work, and I feel we can do better as Africa. Yeah, we can, because I've seen these people really take their job seriously, even their sleep schedules, even their health. It's so, they've got so many distinct structures. Because if they say I'm gonna be at work by 5, they should at home, like punctuality, discipline. You won't enter like a Chinese building where there are like apartments and stuff and see the lights on by like 22 or 23. You should see it actually. My friend stays in one of the apartments, and every time they reach that specific time, everyone's asleep. That type of discipline. Even health, you're gonna see people running in the roads. You're gonna see people that are doing things towards their health, and just even on their work ethic. It's so structured and so hardworking. So I feel that's something we can adopt or at least do better at East Africa. Yeah.
Discipline is something that, I'm not speaking of only Africa, because I believe it's everywhere around the world. Discipline is something that people take to be very hard. Restricting yourself is something that most people don't do. It's actually difficult at times. Depends on your passion. So yeah, discipline. I love that.
You build so much structure. Yeah.
So using one word, what do you think Africa needs in order to contribute meaningfully to the community? Using one word.
One word. Let me think. One word of phrase. I think. Can I? Let me use a phrase. I don't know if it's a phrase, but I'd say unity and collaboration. Yeah. I feel no one should be left behind. Everyone should be given a chance to say something. Like we as youth should like get some. We should all team up and actually build something together. Because like we're stronger together. And collaboration, and this doesn't just mean internal collaboration, even external collaboration. Because like the more you realize there are so many things from other countries that they are better at or stronger at that you may be lacking or you may be weak at, you can meet each other where you lack. And there's so many things that you can contribute. So the more we collaborate, not only in our continent or in our countries, but just in the world at large, the more we meet people, work with people, unify with people, we're gonna build something strong. So I feel unity and collaboration.
Could be if you can bring your strength in advocacy and I bring my strength in advocacy in business in political leadership in traditional leadership, and then we bring all of those things together. I believe that it's going to be a very big idea and it's going to be a very good contribution to Africa. So yeah, unity is very crucial. Thank you so much for that insight. And moving on. So do you think that have you heard of
I've heard a bit about it, but I haven't really seen it. Please enlighten me and viewers.
Okay, so the Africa 2063 is a playing game for Africa that by the year 2063 we want to achieve this when it comes to food, it comes to development in health center, economic development in youth participation in the leadership and stuff. It's just like a vision for Africa within this year from 2023, the 10 years from now to 2023, how Africa is going to be together. And some of these things involve youth participation in the leadership, involve free from hunger, involve proper health care, it involves to develop entrepreneurship, other things that we feel that we are African. So do you think that Africa is set to achieve that goal in this year from now to 2063?
I say yes.
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 She can't believe in Africa.
Mhm.
That's So what do you think?
I think the world is changing. Africa isn't the same as it used to be. We may not be at the goals we've set, but there is change. In as much as we can complain, no, the political, no, this, no, that. If you open your eyes around, you can see change. Change in the youths, change in the adults, change in leadership. People are now making spaces for real change. So I feel Africa definitely has a bright, bright future. And I believe we can make that come to pass. Africa.
Yeah, that's a very strong confidence. Because I believe that if we ask other African youth, even some of the old people, okay, some of them don't have that belief in Africa. We believe that Africa is going to be down for all of our years. And once we have that belief, we won't want to do anything about it. Yeah. So you notice that even some of our friends that are here, some of our colleagues that come here, they don't even have any plan of going back to Africa. Some of them just want to be here and develop their life here. Everything over there and living back Africa because they already have that belief that Africa will never manifest more than living. And that's wrong. Because back then we had youth leadership. But now when you look, what is the country? Is it Senegal? They have a very young leader. Are you being a president? Yeah. So you should know that there are changes. There are changes. So we believe that within that time, and I stand with you also on that belief, within this time, Africa is going to develop.
And you know why I believe that so strongly? But yes, you know I believe that so strongly because it starts with you and me.
Sure.
You know, there's these people that I met that were like, no, you can't be African. How can you talk like this? You can't be African. Like, how can you, like, you know, even your English is good and stuff like that. And I'm like, this change starts with me.
Yeah.
And this change starts with you. So if you yourself are able to take up something, working towards your country, imagine what the world could be at that. So it's not just about you, but imagine for people that are working like you, thinking like you. It starts with you. So, yeah. It starts with you.
Yeah, so that's actually great because it started with me. It started. Anyway, yeah, I don't have to say, but you gotta show us on this. We have to believe that Africa has a better future. Apart from what we are doing now, Africa has a way better future. So we believe that Africa 2063 agenda is bound to take place and it must come to fulfillment. Yeah, so moving on. What's your motivation to around the world?
I wish we could.
Yes, in China and around the world.
Pause. I don't know.
Speaking of the 2023 agenda, people not believing that Africa reached this that big. So why the motivation of them? I don't know. Speak the motivation or what motivation?
For the youths and the people that are
Around the world, back in Africa, in other continents, in Asia, in Europe, in the United States. Yeah.
the piece of advice I would give you is look at the change around and try to be a part of it. That's something I would say. Because the world is changing, that's a fact. If you say, no, you know, girls can't do this, or no, Africans can't do this, look around. Africans are going all over the world, girls are becoming president. So my advice would be look at the change around and find a way to be part of it. Yeah.
I'm a legend. I am a best man, learning for you, no touching. Make fun of fire, grab me, screaming in heaven. I am a one body know me, nobody coming beyond me. Nobody sitting and fighting the people don't know them, but I am a guy, my tearing.